chapter number 3. Once you get Psalms 3 in your hands, I want you to stand to your feet. I want to say to those that do not take communion, if you just remain after service for about 2-3 minutes, we'll make sure that we serve you before you go. We want everybody to be served, amen? How many's glad to be here today? I got something for you today. I got something for you. Psalms chapter number 3. Y'all ready? Yeah. Let's see what it says. Psalms chapter number 3, beginning at the first verse. Watch this. It is a psalm of David when he fled from Absalom, his son. Look at somebody and tell them we have a problem. It's a problem when the father is running from his son. Y'all don't hear me. Lord, how are they increased that trouble me? Many are they that rise up against me. Many there be which say of my soul, there is no help for him in God. But thou, O Lord, art a shield for me, my glory, and the lifter of mine head. I cried unto the Lord with my voice, and he heard me out of his holy hill. I laid me down and slept. I awaked, for the Lord sustained me. I will not be afraid of 10,000s of people that have set themselves against me round about. Arise, O Lord, save me, O my God, for thou hast smitten all mine enemies upon the cheekbone. Somebody got slapped in the face by God. Thou hast broken the teeth of the ungodly. Slapped them so hard, God broke all their teeth. Watch out. Salvation belongeth unto the Lord. Thy blessings is upon thy people. Put your Bibles down, grab hands with somebody quickly. Man, you know there's trouble. The father is running from the son, and God slapped somebody until their teeth came out their head. Lord have mercy. Look at your neighbor and say, good morning, neighbor. Good morning, neighbor. Look at him and tell him God got it. God got it. Come on, say it one more time. Say God got it. God got it. Come on, say it one more time. God got it. God got it. You can take your seat. You can take your seat. I know that when there's trouble, how many's ever been in trouble before? Yes. Are y'all all right with the temperature? You're hot, you're cold, you're flashing, flashing. You need to bump it. Go ahead, bump it one time. Bump it one time. Yeah, bump it. We're gonna bump it for those that are flashing this morning. We're gonna bump it for those that are flashing. Somebody say trouble. Trouble. It's one thing when trouble comes, and the trouble comes in the form of people. How many knows to have bill troubles is one thing? To have health issues is another. You can go to a doctor and get something. When it comes down to bills, you get some money and it can solve it. But when you have people problems, y'all, there ain't a pill on planet Earth for stupid. Y'all, let me say that again. There ain't a pill on planet Earth for stupid. When you have people problems, you just gotta let some many know when it comes down to people problems, the more you engage the person, the more you stir the pot. Sometimes talking to crazy makes you crazy. Y'all don't get me. Sometimes when it comes down to dealing with people, sometimes the best thing, or can I tell you, most of the time, the best thing that you can do is just walk away.
That's right.
Somebody say, I got to keep my peace. Why? Because some people will push you, and some people will provoke you. And some people will, before you even know it, pull you out of yourself and have you doing something that now you have to turn around and say, I'm sorry for. Somebody said people problems.
People problems.
David has an issue here because now his son Absalom, somebody told him that his father is done. Somebody said, your father's on the way out. You need to take over now. How many know a son is not supposed to take over until the father is gone? My mama used to tell me like this. My father wasn't the disciplinarian in my house. I can barely remember a time that my father, got his belt and did a number on me. But I can guarantee you I can almost count times when Sister Johnson wrapped up. I remember those things like it's a flashback. But how many know that there's a problem when there's two people in the house acting like the head? Lord have mercy, I'm going somewhere. And the problem is not between husband and wife, but the problem is between a father and a son. Why? Because let me talk to you for a quick second and we will get into the word. Because now the son feels that I have arrived. Or I've come to a place that now I've stepped into my manhood, and then he begins to think that he has no need for his mother or for his father. When a young man loses respect for his father, he has set something in order that was never intended to happen. What happens? The next generation gets messed up. Because anytime you have somebody in leadership position who cannot handle the authority, they mess up everybody under their authority. Y'all don't hear me. You can say you know more than your boss, but can I tell you, if you lose respect for your boss, what will happen is every time your boss comes to tell you something, your attitude towards your boss has just thrown you out of the will of God. What do you mean the will of God? Can I tell you, being in and out of the will of God is not so easily happening. But what I mean by the will of God, please don't think that God doesn't love me, that God doesn't care, none of that. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is purpose. You're supposed to respect authority. You're supposed to always remember authority. I don't care if you know more than the boss. Let me break it down for you. I don't care if you know more scripture. I don't care if you're more anointed than me. Can I tell you, you're not the pastor.
That's right.
Revelation. Because what's happening is God's going to always hold the person in charge responsible for what's going on in the house. When Eve ate, Adam ate to save Eve. Don't want to go down that road. We've been there before. But when God showed up, he didn't call Sister Girl from out of the woods. Y'all don't hear me. He didn't call for Eve to come and see what was going on in the garden. God knew what had happened in the garden. God knew who caused the problem in the garden. And it's an age-old argument, so to speak, a quiet one, in the church about who sinned first. Can I tell you, it doesn't matter who sinned first, but I can solve that argument. It was Eve's fault. Had she been walking with God, she wouldn't have eaten from the tree. But the moment that you are outside, away from God, the devil comes to tempt you to fall. Adam ate to save her life, because the Bible says that Eve was deceived, Adam wasn't. way. Since Adam was not deceived, it means that he ate intentionally. Somebody say intentionally. Because he knew that if the alligator had a female alligator, wait a minute, and the bird had a female bird, and wait a minute, and all the other animals had somebody, why I gotta lose mine because she ate something? Y'all don't hear me. So Adam says, so if God gonna kill you, he gonna have to kill me too. I'm gonna eat. So when both of them ate, their eyes were open. They understood good and evil. They knew right from wrong, and then they hid themselves. Can I tell you, it's something wrong when leadership is hiding. Why? Because if leadership is hiding, that means everybody else that's under the leadership can't go where they're supposed to go because the leader is too busy hiding. So God comes down and God says to Adam, he says, Adam, where art thou? Can I tell you, God being all-knowing knew where he was. God was not asking him a question to find out where he was, but God was giving him the opportunity to show up and be the leader. Y'all look at me. A good leader is somebody who messes up and then will tell you, I did it. I'm sorry. Pastor, will you do that? Absolutely. Will I get on the microphone and do it? It ain't your business. But if I sit down and I counsel you and I talk to you, watch this, I will tell you about my failures. You don't have a leader who's standing before you that can tell you that he had done some things. If I was to tell you all and announce to you the things I would have to do, I would have to start a piece of paper about this high and roll it down to the floor, and it has 2 columns. Can I tell you, I am not a perfect person. Can I tell you that I have done some things that I am really ashamed that I've done? Can I tell you that I've done some things that if my mama knew, my mom would take my last breath today? Can I tell you I've done some things and been some places, but can I tell you it is the story of grace on my life that God thought enough of me to bring me back from the mud, back from the mire, to bring me up through the ranks, to bring me under leaders, to teach me what he taught me, to bring me to a place. If God thought enough to do that for me, can I tell you, God knows what he's doing. It doesn't matter to him so much that you have fallen, because the price for falling has already been paid. The thing that God is looking for is for somebody who is willing to turn to him for help, get up, and recognize if it had not been for the Lord on my side, I would have never been able to get up. And then, can I tell you, even as a pastor, to fall and still get up. Can I tell you, to even as a man, fall and still get up. Can I tell you, as a male, to fall and still get up. Can I tell you, this Christian walk is not about somebody being perfect, because how many know all of us have sinned and come short of the glory of God? Ain't none of us perfect, ain't none of you can't come to me to surprise me with nothing you did. Can I tell you, because if you did something and you come to tell me in secret, not only will I keep it, but can I tell you, you will not surprise me. Why? Because it is a part of man's nature to sin.
That's right.
But when grace and mercy follows me all the days of my life, it behooves me to take advantage of who God has put behind me, to make sure that I keep good enough. Isn't it amazing that some people fall and just want to stay down? If God calls grace and mercy to follow me all the days of my life, that means grace and mercy is standing over the hole, standing over you where you've fallen, waiting on you to do what? Get up. So when it comes to leadership, now David is recognizing something, that David's strength is leaving him. Can I tell you, there comes a day you might rock your son's world playing basketball now. But can I tell you, while you on the way coming down, he on the way coming up, and y'all gonna pass each other at some point. Y'all don't hear me. I remember when DJ Masson was in the house and we were messing around, we were playing, and I said, DJ, quick, I can't take it anymore, I'm tired. He said, oh man. I said, keep calling me over. That's what you do. I'm going to throw you to the ground. And I looked over and there was a can of Silly Spring that they had. I said, he's going to kill me for this. But I said, I'm going to get you if you don't quit. He wouldn't quit. He kept trying me. He wanted to know my level of strength. I said, okay. And you know how they wear the basketball shorts all the way up the hill with the big one and all the way down. I said, okay, you keep messing with me. See, how many know you don't teach? I even tell the folks that I mentor, I don't teach them everything. Why? Because they might try you with me. Watch this. And he tried me, and I kept telling him to quit. She scared me, he couldn't quit. So what I did was wait until he walked by. He was going to get something to drink, and I clipped him. I sure did. I clipped him right in the hallway because I wanted him to know that I was smarter than him. I wanted him to know that I practiced trying to be 2 steps ahead of people. I might come up a half step short, but be careful. I'm always thinking. So when I clipped him and he went to roll over, I jumped on his back. I put all 242 pounds on him at that time. And I laid on him, I grabbed him around his neck, and I clipped one of his legs because I used to wrestle. And I said, didn't I tell you to stop? I said, bring me that silly string. Bring me that silly string. What did I tell you I was going to do? And he was hollering, no! No, mind you, he this tall. No! No, I said I was going to get you. And I rolled him over. When I rolled him over, I pulled up the back of his shorts. I emptied the whole can. He gonna kill me when he sees it. I emptied the whole can. Why? Because he said then, that's when he realized not to try me to a certain level.
That's right.
Right.
You know why some kids stand up to you now? Because you hadn't showed them your level.
That's right.
And they try. It's in their nature to try. They try you. But I want to tell you, until you put them in check, they won't have no respect.
That's right. That's right.
Yes.
David's son let somebody else talk him into trying to take over as king before David dies. And David doesn't have the strength to fight against it. But who's leading the run? One. Who's leading the pack? He's got somebody talking to him in his ear, telling your daddy about to go. You got to be careful who talking to your kids. Y'all ain't right there. You got to be careful who talking to your kids, because they'll make your kids come home and do something that you didn't teach them. And David's son starts to think, and now David's son leaves, and now he builds up his own army, and they jokers actually tried to anoint him as king while David was alive. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you where David was. David didn't have the strength to do what he normally would do. This is the same David who killed Goliath. This is the same David who would cut your throat, and then come back to God and say, I'm sorry. Y'all hear me? This is the same David that when told to go and kill 100 men and take the foreskin of 100 men and bring it back, and I'll let you marry my daughter, he went and brought back 200, wait a minute, and put them in a bag and threw them at the foot of the king. David was a bad boy. No, David loved the Lord, and he's the consummate man because he's warrior, every bit of a warrior, but he's every bit of a man of God. Somebody say balance. David was a balanced man. He knew when to fight and he knew when to go gun. But David was at a point now where David couldn't do anything. Somebody actually said the king is dead. And David was lying in the bed alive. They said, we know how to tell whether the king is dead. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take us a fine young tenderoni, and we're going to put her in the bed with her, and we're going to see what's going to happen in the morning. And in the morning, when they came back and they found out that nothing happened, somebody said the king is dead. Y'all don't know. Why he said the king was dead? Because David, watch this, could have anybody that he wanted to. Remember Bathsheba. Remember, he's been down that road before. That you got to understand that when you come to the end of yourself, there's always going to be a young lion. Somebody say a young lion. Who's waiting, that have tried you before and looking to take over. Well, this is where David finds himself. Then David begins to write a song. David writes a song about it, about his own son attacking him. And now let's walk from there. He says, Lord, how are they increased? Somebody say increased. It means how are they come together? Why did they come together? The word means increase is rabab in the Hebrew. It means marrying. What do you mean marrying? Marrying in the English means it's countless or an extreme great number. David says, not only was it my son, but David has somebody talking in his ear. David's son has some followers. David's son is bringing up their own court. They're getting everything set up, and like he's about to take over. He's trying to get his own little army. He's trying to work out every little thing. And David knows that he can't do anything of it himself. But David knows that if I trust in the Lord, it's going to be all right. How is this myriad of trouble come unto me? Somebody say trouble. The word trouble is sar. T-S-A-R. T-S-A-R. Sar means this. Watch, to narrow or bring into a tight place. It means to distress by means of an enemy. David knew that after all his successes, produced something in his own house that now he was going to have to face. What did his success breed? David's sons saw how the people honored David, how they loved David, how they won battle after battle after battle, and they couldn't wait to grow up to be king. He couldn't wait till daddy dies. Why? Because he saw all of the splendor and he says, I get all of this. Can I tell you how many's looking to be successful in your life in one way or another? Come on, let me see your hands. If you're looking to be successful, put them out. I want to see them. Can I just leave your hands up? Be ready for haters. They come with success. Y'all don't get me. Be ready for scoffers. If you cannot handle being talked about, stay broke. If you can't, if God is helping you to have tests right now, somebody say right now.
Right now.
So that you can learn how to handle enemies. You need to tell God thank you because your enemies are a sign that God is preparing you for something greater.
Amen.
But watch, if you falling out over your enemies now, you think there ain't enough money on planet Earth where you can get away and you can take a vacation. Go to the Bahamas. Go to Switzerland. Take a cruise around the Alaskan Arc. Can I tell you, when you get there, you don't have haters.
That's right.
You stepped out of a car and first thing they see you is they gonna feel like you don't deserve to have it. They don't even know you. Success breeds contempt. The moment you step in a place where the moment somebody say they like your teaching, the moment say they like the way you preach, the moment they see the way you lead, if you got a problem with people talking about you that makes you back up, you might as well quit now. David said, how is all of this increased towards me in trouble? He said, many are those that rise up against me. Watch this. As long as Jesus stayed in the background, healed, set free, and delivered people, they never tried to kill him. They always wanted to know who he was. But the moment he stepped out as Christ, the Messiah, they sought for an occasion. Read the scripture. They sought for an occasion to kill him. But now, something happens. He says, many there be which say of my soul, there is no help for him in God. What a brazen statement. Somebody say help.
Help.
I was amazed at the Hebrew word for help. The Hebrew word for help is what we call a name of God. The Hebrew word for help is Yeshua. We call God Yeshua. Watch. But the word is derived from the word, the name is derived from the word which means help. Somebody say help.
Help.
Watch this. Yeshua means something saved. E-D. Deliverance. It means aid. It means prosperity. It comes from the feminine passive word Yasha. Somebody say Yasha.
Yasha.
It means what? Why am I teaching this? To be open, to be wide, and to be free in order to bring salvation. To be open, to be wide, and to be free. To wait. So if they because they begin to call Jesus Yeshua, it means that he is open, wide enough, and free enough to save you. When we say salvation, we think it means saving of the soul. But can I tell you, salvation simply doesn't mean the saving of one's soul, but it means getting somebody out of trouble. Some people say, I'm saved. Wait, it just means you from out of trouble when they're talking about heaven. But now he says, watch this, he says, they say, here's what the people are saying, that there is no Yeshua for him in God. They're saying, watch, in essence, they don't know they're saying this, but when somebody says there is no help for you, then what they're actually saying, there is no Jesus that can help you in this. How many know that's a bad statement? But thou, O Lord, listen what David says. I know they're saying that there's no help for me in this. But thou, O Lord, art a shield for me. Somebody say a shield. Shield. It means, watch this, it's Magen, M-A-G-E-N. Say Magen. Why I teach you these things? Because I want you to understand something. Magen means something. Watch this. Magen is what? It is the skin of a crocodile. Let me say that again. Magen is the skin of a crocodile. Why? How many know you can't stab a crocodile and kill it? There's only one point. Anybody like to watch Swamp People? Shoot them, shoot them, shoot them. I love that. Shoot them in the head. Find it, they get their head, and they find the one spot in their head, that soft spot. It says it's about the size of a quarter, and if you shoot it, you kill it instantly. You're shooting someplace else, that joker will later. You cut off a leg, he might produce another. Y'all watch. He says, but thou art, O Lord, has become like the back of an alligator for me. He become three things. If you're right, I just gave you one. There are three things that God becomes for you. Somebody say a shield. A shield. Watch this, and he says, my glory. The word is kabod, or kabod, K-A-B-O-W-E. It means quality. It means weight. It means splendor. It means what I need. So first he becomes as tough like the skin of an alligator, and then he becomes what you need. Wait. The third thing is, and the lifter of my head. Watch this. God not only comes in as your shield and covers and protects you, but God gives you what you need to sustain you in the midst of the trouble. And then in the end, somebody say in the end. Amen. You know what he does? Watch this. He comes to you after making you tough and covering you all over, that whatever the enemy throw at you, it won't penetrate. Not only that, he gives you what you need to make you survive the attack that they bring to you. And then watch, he brings something for your soul. He lifts up your head. Y'all know him here. Body, soul, and spirit. He gives you something for your body to shield you, for your soul, that's splendor, and then he lifts up your head for your spirit. He elevates your spirit. So watch, he doesn't say, please, I hope you caught this, he doesn't say, I move your enemy. What he does is let your enemy stay, because they are ordained to teach you a lesson. Amen. But I'll cover you and keep you, and then I'll encourage you. Why? So while they're hating on me, and while they're rising up against me, I can walk as if they don't even exist. Watch. He said, but thou, O Lord, art a shield of my glory and the lifter of my head. This is what he says. I cried unto the Lord with my voice, and he heard the bar. He heard me out of his holy hill. It means, watch this, that on the cross, Christ heard That means the Holy Ghost hears. That means God hears. Wait. That when people come against me, though I'm covered, though he's given me what I needed, and though he lifts up my head, all I really have to do is cry unto him, and y'all hear me? It's like a son or a child knowing that trouble is coming. Don't make me call my daddy. You know, he got me covered. Somebody say he got me covered. Watch now. He lifts my head, but then something happens. He says, I cried unto the Lord with my voice, and he heard me out of his holy hill. That's from heaven. Selah. Selah means to think about it. God heard my cry on earth and answered me from heaven. Watch this. I laid me down. Somebody say me. I went to sleep. When God gives you something that you need to cover you, and then God gives you encouragement to get through, and when God lifts your head, there ain't no reason for me to be thinking about you and staying up late at night because who hating me? I want God to continue to make me successful. Y'all don't hear me. Continue to make me successful. So the more successful he makes me, the more haters that I'm going to have. And you got to learn. When you got haters, you better learn how to go to sleep.
Yes, yes.
Because people have you sitting up in the middle of the night thinking about them. If God be for me,
yes, yes,
he is more than the whole world against me. But without God, watch this, people worry about other people.
yeah.
And without God, other people come to antagonize your spirit to make you sit up at night and even wonder, well, why is she mad at me? I laid me down and did what? Slept. Watch this. He says, I awake for the Lord sustain me. Watch this. He's trying to tell you that you should be able to go and lie down and get up in the morning because they really don't matter. They are just a test. Look at somebody and tell them, you just a test. Now he calling you the enemy, but you are just a test. Y'all remember when this TV used to go to fade to black and the little round thing with all the colors used to come over in a little 10 seconds and used to hate that right at the wrong time. And then you used to say, this is just a test of the broadcasting network. Y'all remember that?
Yep.
It's just a test to see if the system is working. Now then hear me. What did I just say? He's testing to see if the system is working. Wait a minute. But you said God make me successful. When God makes you successful, the only way to know if success is working for you is for the test.
That's right.
Somebody comes. So please don't think so lofty that you have arrived to a different place, a different walk, a different realm, a different dimension to where you are not going to be tested. Can I tell you, when you go to the new place, the devil that you left, can I tell you, we'll be right there. Why? What I tried to teach y'all for the last 2 months. Evil is always present. Every time it's time to do good, oh, we on vacation, we ain't thinking about nobody else. Evil is in Jamaica. Wait a minute. Evil is in Alaska. Evil is in Paris. And where you go, evil, you step off the boat. Nobody to bother me. Right when you drop your guard, evil is always present. There's going to be a hater. Wait, what are you trying to tell me? I'm trying to condition you, because David is trying to teach us something here, that you need to condition your heart and your mind to deal with the evil that he is.
That's right. That's right.
Because it's not going anywhere. And most people, can I tell you, most pastors and most preachers, in an indirect way, teach you that you can disperse them and get rid of them. No, I told you, God doesn't take away the enemy. What happens is he conditions you to withstand against the enemy. And after having done all to stand, he said what? Stand therefore. He didn't say I'm going to move your enemy. He said you will see your enemy come after you one way and flee from you several ways. And how many know when them jokers run, there's another one that's waiting in the back?
That's right. That's right.
Okay, let me go a little deeper. Before I go a little further, I don't want anybody being a little lofty. Let me give you something for your pocket. Everybody don't like you. The moment you start to think that everybody likes you, You just set yourself up to fail the test.
That's right.
Amen.
I told you the test is coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch. The test is trying to get you to a place. Watch. Because even after you pass the test, on another level, you're going to be tested. The level of testing that you pass will determine the level or the dispensation that God take you to. If you can handle them talking about you here, surely you'll be able to handle them talking about you on the next level.
That's right.
Amen.
That's right.
Bishop Jake said like this: new levels,
No problem.
new devils.
That's it.
Watch this. How many would watch? But you can let your devil keep you on this one. You can let your enemy keep you on this one. And stay stuck, stay broke, stay without. But Pastor, you shouldn't be teaching like that. Watch this. Because I found out, Deacon Holmes, you know what it comes down to? Who wants it bad enough?
Yes.
That's right. That's right.
There's a whole lot of people sitting in church. Ah, praise the Lord. Hey, preach, Pastor. And soon you walk out the door. You said, what about me? Don't make me. You ready to snap something off? You just failed the test. I'm trying to get you to see. Because if you pass the test, you go to the next level. Are you hearing me?
Yes.
How many now who want to be successful? Watch. So if I know that, he says, I cried unto the Lord with my voice, and he heard me out of his holy hill. I laid me down and slept. I awake, for the Lord sustained me. I will not be afraid of 10,000s of people that have set themselves against me round about. Get up, Lord, and save me. He just showed you where his help is. Y'all hear me? He said, get up, Lord, and save me, oh my God. For thou hast smitten all my enemies upon the cheekbone. You slapped them upside. When God slapped you upside the head. Watch, you ain't got to raise, don't make me slap. You ain't got to tell nobody to make me slap you. Let God slap them. You say, God won't slap them, then why is that written in Scripture? He says, for thou hast smitten all my enemies upon the what? Cheekbone. Where is the cheekbone? In the face. And thou hast broken the teeth of the ungodly. Keep talking about me if you want to. Your teeth gonna be crooked. Y'all ready? See, y'all don't believe this. I believe this. God will keep talking. You can't keep putting your mouth on somebody who's standing in righteousness. You can't keep talking about somebody who wants God's way. You can't keep talking about somebody that somebody who's trying to grow close to the Lord. Because when you begin to hinder somebody from coming close to the Lord, you ain't got to really deal with them. Who you really got to deal with is God. Are y'all seeing it? I'm teaching the ABCs of this. Watch. So you got to be careful when he says, touch not mine anointing and do my prophet no harm. Watch this. Can I tell you, if God has an anointing on a person for them to do something, and for you to go, I don't care if you got an anointing just to do cookies. If you got an anointing on you, everybody can't come talking about your cookies. I don't want nothing eating nasty. Y'all know how to do. I don't want nothing eating nasty things. And then why do you keep chewing if it's so nasty? I hate people that sit down to the table. I'm sorry, I'm just having a moment today. I hate people sitting down to the table talking about this so nasty, it don't taste good. Then stop all that chewing. How many know what I'm talking about?
Amen.
Talking about folks who just there chewing. Stop all the eating. For thou hast smitten all mine enemies upon the cheekbone, and thou hast broken the teeth of the ungodly. He says, watch. Salvation, my help, my protection belongeth where? Unto the Lord. Why? Thy blessings is upon thy people. When God knows, when you walking in the blessings of the Lord, you ain't got to worry about another man or woman. You ain't got to worry about nothing. As long as God keep blessing me, keep talking. You can hate what I drive. If you hate this one, you should check out the next one I'm going to get. If you hate where I live, and you hate Charles Lane that much, I'll move on you. Don't hear me. And move someplace else. Move to the end of Robert Lane. I own the whole street. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? I want you focused not on people because they are just the test. I want you focused on passing the test so that you can walk in blessings.
Amen.
So you can go on to a whole nother level in God, because Christ didn't come into your life just to save your soul, just for you to go to heaven. He came that you might have life and that you might have it more abundantly. He wants you to live better than you always lived, but you'll never live better than you always lived if you keep hanging with who you've always hung with. Because some of the ones that you're hanging with, smiling in your face and hate your guts. And you don't even know. You want to know who with you? I tell you, when trouble comes.
Yes.
Yo, go there. When trouble comes, and there's nothing coming in to help you, and nobody coming to see about you, and the ones you expect to show up don't show up. But the one, somebody say the one.
The one.
God will make your enemy be at peace with you, and come and bring you something that your mama should have brought you herself. Y'all don't get me. You'll never know who's for you. You'll never know. That lady couldn't stand me one time. You'll never know.
Stop it.
I tease about all the time. Oh, she didn't like me. It ain't nothing. It ain't nothing. She didn't like me. She made it like me. She didn't like me. Couldn't stand it. Turn up a little nose in the face of me. Ain't nobody scared of me. Guess what? And I kept on doing what I needed to do.
Yes, sir.
But what she don't understand, I put root on her. What she don't understand is, watch this. God fixed it to where she'd be one of the first members of the church. Then make her get on a plane and go 11 and a half hours sit next to me on a plane where she couldn't go nowhere. And by the time I came back, she was like it. Y'all don't know. I'm trying to tell you. Am I telling the truth? Watch. And right now, jump on me if you want to. If somebody said just a test. Because you don't know who God is fixing. You don't know through you being nice to them that hate you. You don't know by doing good to them that despitefully use you. If they put your mouth on you, do something for them. Because you'll never know. When God promotes you, they might be the one who supports you.
Amen.
But we too worrying about pushing people out. You ain't got to push nobody out. Understand that you got an alligator back. And you got God's word as encouragement. And God will lift your head. Go and do what God has called for you to do, and get over people. And whoever with you now, with you now. And when I move to the next stage, who moved with me then is supposed to be with me, and who doesn't ain't supposed to go where I'm going. Where I'm going. And David understood that something was happening. And something was happening in his own house. Somebody say in your own house. It's one thing when the folk in the street talking about you, but when the folk in your own house start talking about you. Salvation belongeth unto the Lord. The blessings is upon thy people. Look at somebody and tell them, I'm God's people.
I'm God's people.
Go with me to Genesis chapter number 15. I want to show you these principles at work. It starts with a preposition. Somebody say a preposition. Anytime you find a verse that starts with a preposition, you cannot start there. Because if you start in the middle of a conversation. How many remember conjunction, junction? What's your function? I didn't tell how old you are. Some of y'all don't. Watch this. Somebody say after.
After.
This is what Genesis says. After these things, the word of the Lord came unto Abraham in a vision. I can't stop there because you won't understand what really happened. Somebody say after.
After.
So wait a minute. So if God began to talk to him in a vision after something happened, we need to find out what happened that caused God to say, now I'm going to talk to him in a vision.
Yes.
You ready? Go to chapter number 14. I'm just going to read basically. And it came to pass in the days of Amraphel, king of Shinar, Arioch, king of Elsar, I'm trying to practice his name, Kedorlaomer, king of Elam, I'm going to start abbreviating some of these, Tidal, king of nations. These made war with Bera, king of Sidon, Bersha, king of Gomorrah, Shinab, king of Admah, and Shemimber, king of Zebulun, and the king of Bela, which is Zor. All these were joined together in the valley. Somebody say valley.
Valley.
In the valley of Sidon, which is the Salt Sea. We were there. 20 years they served Kedor, shortly. And in the 13th year, they rebelled. Wait a minute. Kedor has somebody who's serving with them, and then all of a sudden the folks that served with them turned on him. Don't make me stop there for a little while. Because can I tell you, part of the enemy factor is this. One part of the test is not so much people that are on the inside. Part of the enemy effect is when somebody on the inside that you didn't see coming turn on you. Can I tell you, if you're going to be successful, you'll always be on guard, because the cashier you hired, because they were qualified, might be the one who steal your money.
Amen.
Y'all ain't ready for me? I'm trying to tell you, look at somebody and tell them it's an inside job. Enemies come from everywhere, but most of the time when Christians think about enemies, they think about somebody on the outside. But can I tell you, enemies come from the inside too. Can I tell you that even here in this church, I'm not crazy enough to think that you like me and you're going to like me forever. Because there may come a time you might not like me and you might leave here. And you might say, I told you, he ain't nothing to him. He ain't never been saved. But you forgot all the time that I lay a hand, poured all in and come to the rescue and come and help you. Try to encourage you, try to build you up, try to lead you down the road. You forget all of that. But watch this, from the inside. Somebody say from the inside. There's one thing to be hated from the outside, but it's a whole different ball game to be hated from the inside. Because some of the people that you care for, minister to, are the ones who turn out.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll go down the road. And in the 14th year came Kedar, and the kings that were with him smote the Rephaims in Ashtaroth, Karnim, and Zizms in Ham, and Emims in Sheba, Carathaim, or whatever, and the Horites in their Mount Zeir. See, I'll sit down. What I love about this is, see, for the sake of time, I won't go into this, but if it was just me, before I go to the next verse, I want to know what everybody's name is. Because when I find out what that name means, it tells the whole story. Okay? So, and the Horites in their Mount Seir unto El Paran, which is by the wilderness, and they returned and came to Imnishpat, which is Kadesh, and smote all the countries of the Amalekites, also the Amorites, and dwell in Hazar-Zon Tamar. And there went out the king of Sidon, watch, the king of Sidon, and the king of Sodom, and the king of Gomorrah, and the king of Admah, and the king of Zebulun, and the king of Bela, the same as Zor, and they joined battle with them in the battle of Sidon. Watch this. There were some people who joined in the battle. Watch this. He's trying to teach us something. And some other kings, somebody say other kings, decided we're going to get a part of the fight. Let me ask you to do something, please. A little advice from you, Pastor. Be careful who you jump into somebody else's fight and you don't know the whole story.
Amen. Amen.
Because could it be that you might jump into a fight and they might steal your stuff? The people that you go to help will become your enemy. Watch. With Kedolim, the king, go down. And the king of Elam, and with Tidal, king of nations, and Amraphel, king of Shinar, and Arioch, king of Elisah, 4 kings with 5. And the valley of Sidon was full of slime pits. And the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah fled and fell there. Wait, they went out to go and help somebody else fight, but ran into a valley and didn't know that there were some slime pits. Somebody say slime pits. It's quicksand. Watch, they went out to help some people, ran into something and got stuck. Be careful when you go running in to help somebody. That's right. The valley of Sidon was full of slime pits, and the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah fled and fell there. And they that remained fled to the mountain. And they took all the goods of Sodom and Gomorrah and all their victuals and went their way. Watch this. While the kings went out to fight and the leaders are stuck. Somebody say stuck. Guess what they went and did? Stole all the people's stuff. Y'all don't hear me. You went out to help somebody. And you jumped into their fight. You ain't had nothing to do with it. Wait a minute. And then when you got in there, you got stuck in something and couldn't get out. And while you're there helping them, somebody stole all yours. That's why I love reading this stuff. And they took all the goods, verse 11, of Sodom and Gomorrah, and all the victuals, all the food, and went their way, left them to starve. I can stay right there. They'll leave you. You went to help them, and they'll take your stuff and leave you to starve. Be careful when you're going to help somebody, watch this, and they take all your stuff and don't want to share with you what is yours. Don't borrow my lawnmower whereby I got to come and borrow my lawnmower back. You don't hear me. And they took Lot. Oh, there's a problem. And they took Lot, Abram's brother's son, who dwelled in Sodom, and his goods, and departed. Somebody say Sodom. Watch this. He had no business going in Sodom. He lived in a good place. And while he was with Abram, they flourished. But Lot's herdsmen and Abram's herdsmen couldn't get along because both of them was getting too big. So Abraham says, hey, we're going to have this. Don't let there be a problem between my herdsmen and your herdsmen. There's two sets of the land. We're going to divide the land, and I'm going to let you choose. Y'all know how you try right now. I'm going to let you choose. You pick which side. And homeboy looked at the two sides. When he looked at the sides, he saw that one side had lakes and plush grass. He said, I want this side. Isn't it amazing sometimes? Wait a minute. Somebody say, it's my stuff.
It's my stuff.
But then I give you the opportunity to share in my stuff, and you took the best of my stuff and leave me with the worst. You got to understand, it's okay. Why? Because God's watching you.
Amen.
And he got on that side, and got to watch this, and he fixed his house, and there was a little town that he could see off in the valley, and he could see it. And at night, Sodom would light up, and there was disco lights going on, and the camels were bumping out in the you don't get me. And then they were having a good old time. And all of a sudden, he moved his tent and it got a little closer. Y'all don't hear me. And then he looked, he couldn't see what was going on. Oh, it's Friday night, y'all. We need to check this out. And can you see them sitting out on their front porch and looking down in the Sodom and saying, look, they having the time. Hey, he back. There you go right there. Y'all know, Christians don't do it, but Christians love watching other people who do. Watch it, and he drew so close to all of a sudden he found himself in there talking, hey, he's in the midst of having a party with everybody else. He getting his groove on, and he forgot that he wasn't supposed to be there. So when the war broke out and the people came and they came to take the stuff, if you was someplace you ain't supposed to be, when the enemy goes down or the fight goes down, they gonna take you too. That's why my mama used to tell us all the time. Y'all hear me talk about my mama all the time. If you need to be in the right place, because if something goes down, at least I know where you were. That's right. And they took Lot, Abram's brother's son, who dwelled in Sodom, and all his stuff, and left. And there came one that got away, that escaped. Came to Abraham, the Hebrew. Somebody say the Hebrew. Because they weren't the Jewish people yet. Watch. Man, what's wrong? Abram was minding his business. He was just growing his estate. His sheep was growing. All the stuff was flourishing. He ain't heard from Lot. Lot ain't thinking about him. And they took Lot. You don't know what's going on. Somebody in Atlanta done carjacked him and then took all his stuff. Got him locked up in the trunk. And somebody saw it and came all the way back to Abram and said, oh, what's going on, man? Catch your breath, catch your breath. They got locked. What do you mean they got locked? They can't. And where was he? Was he home? No, he was in Sodom. He had no business being in Sodom. You know what Abram could have done? Say la vie. What is, it is. Watch this. I told him don't go down. How many know what I'm talking about? That's just real lucky. But I want you to see what Abram does for a reason. And there came one that had escaped and told Abram, the Hebrew, thank you, for he dwelled in the plain of Mamre, the Amorite, brother of Eshcol and brother of Aner. Wait a minute, why does he mention Eshcol and Aner? Because they were two of the kings. And Abram had become friends with two of the kings. And they wouldn't attack him. Had they known, please watch, had they known that Lot was kin to him, they wouldn't have messed with Lot. That's why you be good to people while you can. Because there may come a day somebody might snatch your child. I hate that it would happen, but it's happening in our day. And if they do, you can call somebody and say, "Well, you a part of that?" "Yeah." "Well, one of them that you took is mine." No, y'all don't hear me.
Yes.
Somebody say favor.
Favor.
Watch. And these were confederate. Confederate means to be connected. They had an alliance with Abram. And when Abram heard that his brother, it didn't say his brother's son, it didn't say his nephew, because he understood that that was family. The scripture says, and when Abram heard that his brother was taken captive, he armed his trained servants born in his own house. How many were there? 318. Wait a minute, I got a problem with that. Why? You got 9 kings in the valley. You got 4 of them that stuck in the valley. And they jacking everybody's stuff. And I'm going to take 318 with me. You better know you taking God with you. Because don't run up, don't think you're going to run down in the hood. "Well, I'm going to get my stuff." They going to jack your stuff too. You better know that God's with you. Watch this. "And pursued them unto Dan. And he divided himself against them, and he and his servants were how? By night." Somebody say it, by night.
By night.
Sneak attack and smote them and pursued them under Hobah, which is on the left hand of the Damascus, and he brought back all the goods. Watch. He brought back all the goods. You didn't hear me. He brought back all the goods, and also brought again, which means this ain't the first time, his brother Lot, and his goods, and the women also, and the people. He didn't go in there just to take back one thing. He took back everybody's stuff. You see that? When you have the mindset not just to go and be a help to just one person. My job as a Christian is to be a help to everybody. But Pastor, I can't help everybody. Help who you can. That's right. Because you'll never know when the time comes when you down, those that help you will turn around and be a blessing unto you. But what if they're not a blessing unto me? I just told you at the beginning of the message, God will never let you go down. He will fix even your enemy if nobody. The Bible even says, "If my mother and father forsake me, the Lord will lift me up." God will cause somebody to come to your rescue if you do right when you can do right.
Amen.
Are you hearing me? Watch, I'm going to teach you something. 17, "And the king of Sodom went out to meet him after his return from the slaughter of Chedorlaomer, and the kings that were with him at the valley of Sheba, which is in the king's dale, and Melchizedek." Watch, the kings came out, and then Melchizedek, king of Sodom, brought forth bread and wine, and he was the priest of the Most High God, and he blessed him. Blessed who? Abram, and said, "Blessed be Abraham." I never saw this until this morning. "Blessed be Abram of the Most High God, possessor of heaven and earth." Abram didn't even know that because he did right, the priest pronounced a blessing on him that later on he would begin to walk in, and afterwards his son would take over and possess. Well, I'm going to show you that. That's why I'm reading this. Watch this. "That will not take," watch. "And Abram said to the king of Sodom, I have lifted up mine hand unto the Lord, the Most High God, the possessor of heaven and earth." You know what he said? What we some people say, I tell them not to say it. They say, "I swear before God." I tell you the truth. But this is what he said. Abram said to the king of Sodom, "I lifted up my hand unto the Lord, the Most High God, the possessor of heaven and earth, that I will not take from a thread even to a shoenet, and that I will not take anything that is done. Lest thou should say, I have made Abram rich, except only that which the young men have eaten, and the portion of the men which were with me, Aner, Eshcol, and Mamre. Let them take their portion. Wait a minute. Those are the three kids. He says, I took some of y'all's stuff back. I want you to get your stuff. Wait. When the priest came out, he gave Melchizedek a tithe. Somebody say a tithe. Wait a minute, because he worked for it. Wait. He brought everybody's stuff back. He got all the spoil. He didn't know who it belonged to. He just got y'all. If you do right, what other people forfeit, God will give it to you.
Amen.
When you do right, when it's time to do right, then what other people forfeit, God will give it all to you. And watch this, and bless you to be the disperser. This is yours. And this, how much did you have? This belonged to you. And how much did you have? This belonged to you. And watch, and even afterwards, because he just didn't take what belonged to Sodom and Gomorrah, he took everything back from the enemy. He took everything back from the enemy. He took everything back from the enemy, so much so that he had extra before he went into the fight. And from the extra, he paid a tithe to the church. And he says, I give my word that I'm not taking anything that doesn't belong to me. That way, nobody can ever say it was you that made me rich.
That's right.
See his attitude? Watch. He says, and the only people that I'm going to give it to is back to those three kings who lost their stuff. Chapter 15, verse number 1. After these things, the word of the Lord came unto Abram in the vision. Now I understand. What do you mean, after these things? After God saw that he did business right. After God saw that he wasn't hating on nobody. He was only going in there to take Lot. But since when he got into it, the fight was bigger than he thought. And he didn't get stuck. So what he did was he fought the battle until he won the battle for everybody. Somebody say everybody. Everybody. You can't jump into it and just go fight for yourself. You got to win the battle for everybody. Why? Because there's going to come a time that some people don't have God and they're going to go down. Watch. And when they go down, God going to hold you responsible. Why? Because you could have finished the battle. Why? Because you may not have had the same amount of people fighting on your side, but you had God on your side. Are you seeing it? And because of his attitude. Wait. He went in, won the battle, came back, dispersed back to everybody. He got more stuff. He got Lot and all his stuff back. Watch. When he got Lot and all his stuff back, God began to talk to him in a vision. He said, don't be afraid, Abraham. Fear not. I am thy alligator skin. Y'all don't hit me. I got you covered, boy. And thy, three words, exceeding great reward. It's one thing for the reward to be great, but when it's exceeding, what do you mean exceeding? If it's great, it means to go beyond being great. God says all that stuff don't matter. What really matters is me on your side. And when you got me on your side, I am your great, exceeding great reward. That if you give everybody back your stuff, you ain't never gonna go down. Why? Because I saw your attitude. I saw how you treated the enemy. I saw how you treated those that hated your family. I saw how you treated those who, when it was time to get their stuff. And I even saw how when you got the increase, you paid a tithe off of it. You don't get it. Yeah. God sees what you're doing and how you act when you're handling business. And if you handle business properly and you don't put your hands on what don't belong to you, and if it ends up in your hands, make sure it gets back to the hands it's supposed to be in. Yeah. When God sees that you are doing and that's your heart, God will make sure that he becomes, watch, your exceeding great reward. And Abraham said, Lord God, what will you give me, seeing I go childless, and that the steward of my house is Eleazar of Damascus? Why? Because they dealt with culture, and culture says, watch this, what good is it going to do me to have it, and I can't take it with me? I got to leave it with somebody. What good is it going to do me to build up all this wealth and don't have no children to pass it down to? my name and my legacy dies with me. What good is it going to do? Can I tell you, a good leader, somebody said a good leader. A good leader leaves something behind for somebody to be able to flourish off of. A good leader is supposed to leave something for your kid. I watch this. It doesn't mean always money, but a good leader is when that child gone. That when the father's gone and the daddy is left behind, and at least that child will say, wait a minute, when my daddy was here, my daddy would have done it like this. That's why I talk about my mama so much, because my mama left a legacy down on me. It has shifted from her to me. And if she's gone, I'll still remember how I heard her praying the night after she got saved, and she was in the room. I was the only one saved in the family. When the Lord saved my mama on that Friday night, that Saturday morning, they heard mama in the room praising the Lord and had the door closed. Them jokers got happy. You know, they were saying, we ain't gonna get cussed out no more. We ain't gonna get cussed out no more. And watch this. They didn't understand. The first time they got on mama Lord, she cussed them out. Why? Because she had to learn to grow into that. But they were saying, oh, y'all don't hear me. They was excited. But a legacy, somebody say a legacy. It's supposed to be left for your children. Such an impression that they remember that this is how you did it. They heard you praying in the time of trouble. And they knew you didn't have no money, but God came to your rescue. You don't know what you're pouring into your child when you said, sit down to the dinner table and let's hold hands and pray. You putting stuff in them that, watch this, that even if they don't have nothing, they'll go to the dinner table when they're in college and say, y'all, we can't eat yet. Why? We got to pray. We didn't do none of that, but we did that in my house. And y'all going to join hands and pray. When you going to teach us how, you don't understand that they're passing on your legacy.
Yes.
That's right. That's right.
A father is not supposed to die and leave kids without something. Somebody say something. Now I'm about to mess with you because I'm about to show you something. I got to get out of here. And he said, Lord, what can you give me? Seeing that I go childless, and the only one in my house, Eleazar, he was born in my house. He was a slave, and he became the head servant. Watch this. And sometimes the head servant, I don't want to go down this road because I'll get stuck. The head servant, watch this, on the year of Jubilee, when all debts is paid, watch. When you get a servant, you take him to the doorpost, you take the ear and put it there, and they take a nail and pop, and they put a hole in the ear and put an earring in. Why? Because one ear means, watch this, that you're a slave for 7 years. If you go into bondage in the 5th year, it means you only serve 2 years. But after, when the year, and then the year of Jubilee is sounded, when the year of Jubilee comes along, all debts are paid, all servants are gone. Watch this, unless you came up in somebody's house. Wait, but then if you didn't, and you sold yourself into slavery to pay your bills, if he was a good master and you want to stay with him, you say, I'm going to stay with you for the rest of my life. Then what he'll do is take your other ear. Y'all ain't ready. And pop. And then when you have a slave with 2 earrings in it, y'all see, y'all know what I'm saying. When they have a slave with 2 earrings in it, it means you're a slave for life. But Eleazar wasn't bought. Eleazar was born, grew up, and advanced in the house of Abraham, so much so that Abraham knew that when I die, all my stuff is going to a servant. God, what do I have? Seeing that I don't even have a child, a son, or nobody to leave my stuff with. And the only one I have in my house is born in my house, Eleazar of Damascus. And Abraham said, behold, to me thou hast given no seed. Somebody say seed. Zerah, Z-E-R-A-R. Watch this, because I'm coming back to that. And lo, look, one born in my house is mine heir. How did you feel if you didn't work hard, now you got to give it to somebody who ain't even your child? And Abram said, behold, to me, thou hast not given me seed. And lo, one born in my house is mine heir. And behold, here on what I'm getting. And behold, the word of the Lord came unto him, saying, this shall not be thine heir, but he that shall come forth out of thine own bowels shall be thine heir. You didn't get it. He that shall come forth out of you shall be your heir. Say it again. He that comes out of you. Wait, right. He's getting old. God's saying what you're going to leave for an inheritance comes out of you.
Yeah.
Y'all don't hear me. What God's saying, what you leave for an inheritance is what comes out of you, not what grows up around you. Right. Are you get it? Right. What? Then I'm going to show you. And he brought him abroad. Somebody say abroad.
Abroad.
The word in the Hebrew means to separate. It means to pull from out of the crowd. It means that he pulled you from all your kin people. He pulled you from your friends. He pulled you out. Somebody say out.
Out.
That's what abroad means. Watch. And said, look now towards heaven and tell the stars, if thou be able to number them. And he said unto him, so shall thy seed be. Put your mind down. I got to show you this. Watch. God said, what comes out of you, Deacon Holmes, will be your heir. What comes out of you will take control of everything you need. Now come here. He said, come. And he took him outside. And he said, now look. Count the stars, if you can. That's what he said. You see what I'm saying? He said, count the stars. That's how your seed gonna be. Man, he was already old. He was so old. How the man was gonna produce that many kids? Oh, you see what I'm saying? Because y'all missing something. Watch. Because we are taught this on the natural, but we don't see things in the spirit. Watch this. He says, number them. Because he was waiting for him to tell him how many kids he was going to give him. If he had said, I can only count to 2, he would say, 2 is what you get.
Wow.
If he had said 12, 12 would, watch. You take seat. You get me now?
Yeah.
He's, watch. And he brought him, he separated him from all his people. And said, look now towards heaven and tell the star. Talk to the star. Now, if thou be able to number them, and he said unto him, so shall thy seed be. Wait. And he couldn't number them. So guess what God does? Fix him not that he can have that many. He fixed it that he can have one that would produce that number. Since you said you couldn't number it, now I gotta fix a number, that number that you couldn't number, in somebody, because if you only said 2, all I was gonna give you was 2. Y'all didn't hear me? What I'm trying to show you is when you've done right by your enemy, God will give you pull you apart from everybody else and give you a chance to pronounce your own blessing.
Wow.
He's like, ain't number. He says, so shall your seed be. You won't be able to number. I can actually take it to another place. I'm not going to do it for the sake of time. Watch this. He says, and now watch this. Let me finish this one first. He says, he took him back to see the stars. Let me ask you a question. And see, the scripture doesn't say certain things, but it implies certain things. And you got to understand, you got to look at the implication of scripture so that you can understand what God is really saying. When I brought you up here and told you to look at the stars, if it was in the daytime, how many would you see? So God took him out when it was dark. Y'all didn't hear me what I'm saying. I'm trying to tell you, God will take you out at your darkest hour and let you pronounce over yourself based upon your attitude what you gonna get. He don't wait until times get good. He wait till the times is hard. And you say, God, but I'll do right by you. I know they hate me, and I know they don't like me, and I know times is hard, and I know you cover me, and I know you encourage me, and it's you that lift my head, but I got an opportunity to get back at them. Nah, it ain't worth it. And since when I do that, now watch this. In my dark hour, somebody say dark hour. God will let me write a check for what I need. Based upon what I did before.
Right.
Because that's why the verse started in verse 1. After this, after Abraham showed that he's willing to go to fight for somebody else, after he's willing to go and help somebody, after he's willing to go to win the battle for somebody else, after he shows, not you talking, after you shut your mouth and do right by the one who don't like you, you will be able to write your own doggone check based when you get to your hardest hour, your darkest things you want. Because to God, it don't matter which one. But to you, it matters. But you don't get to ask for something until you pass the test. Lord, have mercy. Why? Because what we don't understand is God's got it.
Yes.
God has what I need. And we think it comes someplace else. That's why we're depending on people and what people say matter. No, God's got it. And He just waiting on me to get my little self straightened out so I can do what I'm supposed to do. That when I do it, He'll let me pick out the one. You know what I mean? He'll let me pick out the one I want. And if it was left up to me, I would end up with what I can only afford. Y'all ain't ready. I would only pick out what my little bit of money could help me. But with God, somebody say with God. He ain't worried about what your money can do. God will take somebody, watch, build $1 million mansion, watch this, and can't stay in it because they need to buy another one. And when they buy another one, leave it. And then all you got is $50,000. But they tell you they'll sell you the $1 million mansion for $25,000. And everybody trying to figure out how you did that. It's because when Pookie them got mad at me, I didn't get mad at them. And when they needed me, I ran in and rescued.
All right.
Because I played the part of the deliverer.
Yes.
I played the part that God plays for me. And what you do for somebody else, God will turn around and do for you. So instead of going with just what I can afford, He let me take me to the neighborhood and let me pick out the one I want. Somebody say at night. He takes them on another occasion in the daytime and takes them down to the sea and tell them, get your hand full of dirt. Count the grains of dirt. 1, 2, oh wait a minute, I didn't count you already. 3, 4, no, I start over. You look just like the other one. 1. He said, Lord, I can't count them. He says, that's how I'm going to bless you. Brother Johnson, that's not scriptural. I told y'all something that you didn't get. When he came back, the moment he paid tithe, Melchizedek blessed him and told him that he was the possessor of heaven and earth. He told him, your possessions is from heaven and earth. And God made the joker go look up to heaven to count his kids, and he couldn't. And then God made him look down at his blessings, and he couldn't number them. Melchizedek knew something then that Abraham didn't know while he was going through. I'm trying to tell you, the priest knows something that you don't know why you go. Y'all didn't catch it. Pastor Johnson knows something that you don't know because you're going through. And I'm trying to tell you when I'm up. So y'all don't say, I closed. When I showed up this morning, I backed in. I backed into my normal little spot. When I got out, it was a little chilly. I had rinsed off the little bit of pollen off my, not a little bit, but the pollen off my car. Anybody that know me, I don't ride dirty. So I had to rinse. So I got here and I took the towel out the trunk and I began to wipe the car. When I began to wipe the car, the Spirit of the Lord said, look around you. Whoa, what's going on? Look and see what's going on. So y'all know how, like, a parent asks you a question, like you're supposed to know, but you're just not paying attention like they're paying attention. And I was like, I don't see, I don't understand. And the Lord says, what was the weather like on Friday? It was warm. What was the weather like yesterday? A little cool. What was the weather like today? It's a little cooler. He said, didn't I tell you that I was giving you an extended season? So I said, wait, okay, you told me that. You told me to tell the church in November of 16. I told you in October, but we did it towards November 16, that God was giving us an extended season. What is an extended season? An extended season is when most people plant and the season comes to an end, but you still got warm weather. A good farmer would take advantage of that extra warm weather and put some more seed back in, y'all hear me, back in the ground. Because how many know collard greens really don't taste good till the frost hits? So if you plant, you get more out of this season because God extended the time. Right? Somebody say extended season. I thought I understood that thing until the Lord started talking to me this morning about that. He says, tell them I said I've given them an extended season. I said, okay, Lord, I've been saying that. Haven't I been telling y'all God said He's going to give us an extended season? He said, no. When God tell me no like that, y'all think I don't talk to I talk to the Lord just like that. I said, I don't understand. And the moment you realize you don't understand, I said, I don't understand. He says, to you it's 4 seasons. Spring, summer, winter, and fall. But with God, it's only 1 season. No, you mean. With God, it's only 1 season. Why? Because He sees the beginning and the end at the same time. So wait a minute. While I've been telling you God's going to give you an extended season, thinking that that season will come to an end, God is telling you, no, I'm about to do something in them that will never come to an end. So what is God is about to do for us, not just for me? Because I told you in the last 3 weeks I had 4 same prophecies from 4 different people. 2 in town, 2 out of town. Watch. Same prophecy. What is He going to do for us? He says everybody that is remotely connected to me, what He does for me, He's going to do for you. Wait. I've been saying that since I left Abundant Life, because I'll tell you all another day, for those who don't know, about the dream when the Lord told me, for those, step into this. And as we stepped in, the more the anointing increased, the more people connect here, the better you make your path. Y'all know. And the more people connect with me, the better off you're going to make it for me. And when you make it better for me, God says, watch this, when He pour out on me, He's going to bless you, because I couldn't be what I need to be without you. Amen. I don't ever want you to think that this is one of them churches where I feel like I got it going on. No, I ain't got it going on, because God made me your servant. And you are not my servant. You don't bring me no juice. You don't bring me no nothing. Can I tell you why? Watch this. You don't believe me? This is the same doggone water bottle that's been sitting up here for the last 10 weeks. Don't bring me no juice. I don't need you to carry my bags. You don't need to do it. What I need to do is be carrying your bags. Amen. My job is to help you. I show up to help you. So watch, while I'm helping you, He blessed me to be what I need to be. And then the more I help you, you connect to me. So when He pour out on me, I'm able to be in the blessing and stand and account for the fact that God is blessing you. Wait a minute. And I've been telling y'all about your enemy. Wait a minute. So I've been having some enemies. There's been a little increase of noise in the land today. There's been a little extra people that's out there talking about Pastor Johnson. There's some extra folk out there who found out that they really don't like me after all. And I want to tell them the feelings is mutual. But in the process, somebody say the process. Right. You know what I've been saying about the thing? Absolutely nothing. You know why? I've been telling God, thank you. Because the more haters I got, that means the more blessings you got for me. So watch this. So as He blessed me, when it comes down for me to write my check for all that I've gone through, when I write my check, y'all better have your ears ready. Why? Because God is not giving us an extended season that's going to come to an end. The thing that God is doing right now, He let God mercy. He let the enemy that's messing with you now prepare you to go into something. Watch, that ain't never gonna come to an end.
That's right. Amen.
Right.
So for when I think about my haters and all they have done for me, I tell them, God, thank you for them hating me. Thank you. And they're saying all manner of stuff against me. Why? Because they don't have my stuff. God's got it. All right. Yeah. So I'm learning to smile and say, yes, sir. I'm learning how to say, thank you, Lord, when I know I don't like it. And when the work's being piled on, I say, not a problem. When on the inside, it's eating me up. But you know what I learned to say? I ain't always going to be here. And I ain't going to always be here for you to dump on. But why are you loading my wagon? You don't hear me? God won't put no more on me till I preach it out. That I'm able to bear. That's right. And there's coming a day when I detach from this wagon, and you can keep your wagon and your stuff. But while I'm here,
Right.
I'm going to be a blessing to you.
Yes.
And I'm going to help you, and I'm not going to leave you the way I found you. Are y'all hearing me?
Yes.
As bad as I want this, I know that it's not in the hands of man. Because eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard, neither has it entered into the heart of Robert. What God has prepared, it's already prepared. Because I love him. I love him enough to put up with some stuff. I love him enough to take some stuff from some people. I love him enough that even if you curse me to my face, you might get away with it. I say you might get a bad day. You gotta understand. I'm trying to teach y'all this because I don't want to teach y'all stuff that make you jump and shout and you leave out here and you keep facing your enemy and you don't know what to do. I'm trying to tell you, the bills that you're facing right now, God's trying to fix them the way you deal with them properly so that you won't have them bills ever again. I'm trying to tell you, the problem that you're having with your health, you do what you're supposed to do right now, so you'll never have these issues. Y'all ain't hear me. You deal with your family right now, so you'll never have these family issues again. Y'all hear me. You deal with your people out in the public. Why? So we don't have public problems like this ever again. I know I'm going to another level, and I know there's another devil in there, but watch this. But while I'm here, I'm going to deal with what's on this level, like I'm supposed to deal with it on this level. So when it's time to go to the next level, I'm leaving all of this stuff behind me, and I will deal with that then. That's why he tell me, don't take no thought for what you're going to do on tomorrow. Tomorrow comes with its own problem. I will deal with tomorrow's problem tomorrow. But while I'm here today, I will bless the Lord at all times, and his praises shall continually be in my mouth. My soul, while looking at my enemy, will make her boast in the Lord. The humble shall hear thereof and be glad. Oh, magnify the Lord with me, and let us exalt his name together. Hear me. What God is about to do, before he can do it, before you can have an after this experience with God, you got to deal with this. He said to tell you, you think your stuff is lying someplace? No, I got it. And since God's got it, you don't get it until you do right by God. Because when he says, what you do unto the least of them, you do it as unto me. High five somebody around you and tell them, go get your stuff. That's the wrong person. High five somebody else. Tell them, go get your stuff.
Go get your stuff.
So it's based on your attitude. It is based on your attitude. You say again, it is based on your attitude. I don't want to pastor people with funky attitude. Y'all hear me? I'm just y'all should be using by now. I don't pastor nobody with funky attitudes. You know why? Because as soon as you go out into the public and you deal with the people in the public, they think everybody in the church got that nasty attitude. What's your pastor teaching y'all? I ain't teaching y'all that. And what I'm actually teaching you is to keep your mouth shut. How to set yourself up. How to deal with your enemy. And then go to the mirror and deal with the enemy. Because the only person that can jack up your blessing is you. Oh, y'all heard that lesson. Oh, that blessing. See, that's why let me tell you something. Other people see y'all. That's why my mama made that statement that she made. She said, what I love about your people, they are intelligent saints. I don't know how much that blessed my soul. I'll never forget that. Because you look like you know something. Even if sometimes we fall. You're going to fall during that day. Come on, you're going to fall. Every now and then you might cuss and say, Lord, you had to help me. I'm just telling you, stuff like that happens. Because you have to grow into it. Some people preach like they expect you to be that overnight. You're not going to be that overnight. But if you start practicing, use the enemies that you have now. Go by Walmart, buy them a card, get their address, and send it to them. You ain't even got to sign it. Hear me? Do nice. Play nice. You know, parents, go play nice. Because God's watching you. and how you interact with other people is holding up your blessing.
Yes.
I ain't got time. That means I'm putting too much value on somebody. They don't hold my blessings. I need to focus on the one who can give it to me. You say, do what? Do I have to? Okay. Man, I'm sorry. Why? He's waiting on me to humble myself. Because if you humble or humiliate yourself, in due season, he's going to exalt you. But a prideful person, he can't stand. And then we say we blessed and we highly favored. And your blessing's locked up and not being released. Lord, have mercy. Pastor Johnson walking into it today. Yes, I am. Somebody saying extended season. Stand to your feet. Extended season? You mean I got to put up with them for a little bit longer? Yep, until you get overseen them the way you see it. When you start saying, thank you, Lord, for it. Thank you, Lord, for it. Whether I care for them or not, you know, I don't have to hang with them around them. You know, David saw it in his own house. Now, I don't care how much they count you out. And say, God's not on your side. Because if God be for you, who can be against you? How many know we serve a kind God? Yes. He's watching you. Look at somebody and tell him he's watching you. He's watching. Every head bow, every eye closed. I don't know who I'm ministering to, but I had to put it out there. Don't deceive yourself that God has released something to you and you haven't released people. Please don't deceive yourself to thinking that you're going to get it when you haven't done the prerequisite. You got to understand that the enemy is only there to help you. And it's just a test. And they don't last always. And this present day suffering is not worthy to be compared with the glory that shall be revealed where? In me. Somebody say in me.
In me.
God's got a lot of good stuff for me. And I want them. But I got to deal with some things. Could it be that it's been you, with your lips, that you have gossiped? Could it be that it's been with you that you said some things? What you need to do is begin to ask God to forgive you now. And ask God to help you not to be somebody's enemy. And if you have been somebody's enemy, you need to turn around and do right and fix what is right in God's sight so you can have an after this. Somebody say after this.
After this.
Because I don't know about you, but after this, I want nothing but good coming my way. After this, I don't want to have to be dealing with this issue anymore. After this, I want this thing behind me because there's greater down on the inside of me. We ask God now, if this message was for you, if your head bowed over your eyes, if it was you and you know that you need help in this area, lift your hands to the Lord. Father, we come to you now in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. It's amazing what you give to us. I tell you, thank you that you keep us in check. And that you don't want us to miss anything that you have for us. Have us to take full advantage of the season by which you're extended. Let us come up short in no good thing. Let our ways please you, God. We ask you now, God, as we stand before you, not for stuff. We're asking you to forgive us for our sins. Forgive us for our failures, our faults, and our weaknesses. Forgive us from our iniquity, our transgressions, the things where we falter and we fall. Forgive us. Give us another chance. It's me, Lord. It's me standing in the need of prayer. It's me that has hindered my blessings. But now, since it's me, I take myself out of the way. And I lay myself before you today, and I'm asking you to forgive me. Even if I can't go to somebody who I've hurt along the way. Forgive me, God, for all my shortcomings, for every place I've fallen down, every place I've fallen short. Forgive me, God, for my attitude. Forgive me, God, that it hadn't always been good, it hadn't always been right. Forgive me, God, that I come to you in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Work on me, fix me, change me, make me what you have me to be. Not just for the blessings, but that's so I can grow close to you. Let nothing hinder us from drawing close to you, God. We thank you for what you've done, all that you're doing, and all that's going to be done. We are excited about what's about to happen. Thank you for being that kind of God. We give your name the glory. The honor belongs to you. You alone. In Jesus' name we pray. Somebody say amen.
Amen.
Amen. Whenever your head's still bowed. If you don't know the Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior, and if you want to know him, I want you to lift your hands. Nobody's looking. If you want him to come into your heart, be your guide, be your help, save you, not just from hell, but save you from those things in this life that is to throw you off. You need to be who you need to be for him. Lift your hands to the Lord. I want everybody to pray this prayer. Everybody pray. Father, in the name of Jesus.
Father, in the name of Jesus.
We give my life. I give my life to you.
I give my life to you.
Come into my heart.
Come into my heart.
Come into my life.
Come into my life.
Be my Lord and Savior.
Be my Lord and Savior.
Be my help.
Be my help.
My deliverer.
My deliverer.
My God.
My God.
Teach me your way.
Teach me.
Fill me with your Holy Ghost.
Fill me with your Holy Ghost.
Make me what I'm supposed to be.
Make me what I'm supposed to be.
And I'll live for you all the days of my life.
And I'll live for you.
I give myself away.
I give myself.
That's what you want. Here it is.
Here it is.
I'm yours.
I'm yours.
And you are mine.
And you are mine.
And I'll claim this
And I'll claim it.
all the days of my life.
All the days.
Thank you, Lord,
Thank you, Lord.
for being my Savior,
Being my
for
Savior.
saving my soul,
Saving my
and for
soul.
making me whole.
For making me whole.
From this day forward,
From this day forward.
I'll forever
I'll forever
praise your name.
praise your name.
In Jesus' name we pray.
In Jesus' name.
Somebody shout amen.
Amen.
Come on, put your hands together and give God some praise. I want to tell you thank you for staying with me. I want to tell you thank you for all the things that you've done. Come back on Wednesday. We have some things that will be coming up soon. Please pay close attention to the announcements that will be announced. Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Sister Chris could be here. She had to go out of town. Who else is missing? Missing somebody else? Okay. Thank y'all kids for being here again. Good to see y'all. Yes. And anyone that has missed communion, if you will come right to the front now as we close, and we will serve you communion now. If you just come stand right here, no problem. We'll serve you communion to those that have already been served. God bless you. And we will talk to you, see you Wednesday. Amen?
Amen.
God is with you. May God be with you.
All right.
God be with you. Oh, may God be with you. God be with you until we meet again. Listen, I may not see you for a little while we're gone from each other. Please take care. The enemy will come to kill, steal, and destroy. Leave down in despair. Oh, but remember, you got the Lord on your side. I know for myself, everything will be alright. And when it comes home, it won't be very long. I'll see you on the other side. Whoa, God, may God be with you. Oh, may God be with you. May God
Blessing of everyone that is participating today. We will work of you. Cause the blessings continue to be upon us. God bless you. God bless you. Good to see you all. Hey, my friend. All right, see you, man. Good to see you. Come on, all right. Thank you.